Hello, Tashitele again. I hope you are doing very well. And I would like to wish you all a very happy Sagadawa. Again, according to Tibetan Buddhist calendar, this month is still very auspicious month. The month that our great spiritual master, the Gautama Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, who was born, who attained enlightenment, and who went into parinirvana in this very same month. So we're still very fortunate that we've been able to witness this continuity of celebrations of this auspicious Sagadawa. According to different calendar, as I mentioned before, and this time it's according to Tibetan calendar. Today is the first day of the Sagadawa, and for that reason, it is very good that we are very able to practice the Dharma, listen to the Dharma, and to engage in every kind of religious activities in order to accumulate merits and wisdom. So this is one of the way that we are now doing. We are continuing the teachings from the Jewel Ornament of Liberation by the Lord GAMPOPA. So for that reason, we shall feel fortunate to ourselves that we have obtained this opportunity. We have this opportunity that we can practice and study and practice the instructions by GAMPOPA. So before we start, it is very important that we always be mindful whatever Dharma practice, what we do, we always need to uh, generate bodhicitta. Whatever practice, either that is listening the teachings of the Dharma or contemplating the Dharma, understanding and also implementations of the Dharma, whether that is to do with retreat or chanting, visualizations of Idam deities, we always need to give rise to the bodhicitta because we are doing this in order to liberate ourselves and all mother sentient beings from this suffering of samsara. So we have known that there are different types of sufferings in different realms from the previous chapter. So by that understanding, then it makes sense. It gives us a good reason why we need to develop loving kindness and compassion, why we need to give rise to bodhicitta. Because now we understood from the previous chapter, chapter that was talking about the different types of sufferings in different realms. So now we know that wherever we are born in these six realms, we are not free from suffering of samsara. So therefore, with that wisdom, with that understanding, we can release our attachment to the pleasure of samsara. So that's the antidote. And this is not just by saying that someone said so, but actually really try to understand each and every sufferings in different realms that we tried in previous chapter. So we need to recall those different types of suffering of samsara. Otherwise, what happens then again? We'll forget these things, slowly, and we'll go back to our normal life, normal attitude, and still enjoying the pleasure of samsara, not knowing that the essence of the pleasure of samsara is no difference from the suffering of change. It will minimize and it will disappear, and that's known as the suffering of change. So we need to always be mindful of those different types of suffering of samsara. And with that kind of understanding, it supports us, it encourages us to be able to release from this suffering of samsara, to be able to liberate ourselves from this suffering of samsara, to release ourselves from that kind of attachment to the samsara. So this is very important. Otherwise, it will be just like listening the Dharma and talking about Dharma, but not really putting Dharma into our mind, our heart, our day-to-day life. So we need to make ourselves uh, familiarize these different types of samsara. We need to be able to enlighten ourselves of this wisdom. And with that, then we'll be able to generate loving kindness and compassion. With that, then we'll be able to generate renunciation from the samsara. And, and that will be our base foundation. Because as it is said in the lineage prayers, as that the renunciations is the foot of meditation. So here, why he said the foot of meditation, it means the foundation of meditation. So for our body, in order to stand up our body still, we need to have a foot to stand on, right? If we have a problem in our foot, then we can't stand still. So likewise, if you want to have your meditation, well-established meditation, or then in order to do so, we need to have a good foundation for the meditation. So likewise here also, we need to have good foundations of renunciation, the awareness of suffering of samsara. And by that reason, we'll be able to liberate, we'll develop the heart or mind that we need to release from this kind of attachment of suffering of samsara. So this is very important. So we should not forget the previous chapter. So sometimes what happens is like, okay, we study Dharma. Okay, I studied it. So you simply say, oh, I studied. What are you listening? What are you practicing? Or what are you listening the teaching? And someone says, oh, I'm listening the teaching of the GAMPOPA, the book called Ornament Liberation. And we might say, oh, I have studied it. Obviously, you have studied it, but it's literally only the words you have studied. You have known some words of that um, teaching, or some at least some meaning of those teachings. But have you really practiced those teachings? So that's a different story. So just studying, just reading books, just going through classes, going through books and listening from the teacher is not enough. We need to really actualize those teachings into our day-to-day life. And if we are able to do so, then we will receive the real blessings of those instructions. Then we can appreciate the kindness of Gampopa by enlightening us with his words of wisdom. Otherwise, it will be just another book, just another Dharma talk, just another Dharma book, and then it will become like kind of Buddhist tradition, or Buddhist custom or culture, without really implementing the instructions to our life. Then it is not so useful. It will not bring you any kind of result. So therefore, it is always important that we really actually put the Dharma into our practice. We really uh, again and again recall the instructions of the Dharma, the instructions on the impermanent nature of suffering of samsara, the instructions on the suffering nature of samsara. With that kind of awareness, with that kind of mindfulness within yourself, then you'll be able to attain some liberation from the suffering of samsara. By then, we'll be able to attain some kind of realizations. Otherwise, we'll just forget, we'll hear and we'll forget it. And then we'll keep going back to all samsaric activities. We'll again falling into the what is called illusory of samsara, without knowing its nature as impermanence and suffering, selflessness and emptiness. We'll be, catch with the idea of permanence, real, and by that we'll attach things to we attach to things, and when we are attached to things, then if there arises some contrary to that object, then we give rise to aversion, hatred, jealousy, and so on and so forth, which will then bring all the unpleasure or miserable circumstances in our uh, life. So therefore, we need to always be mindful of what we have studied and try to put them into our practice as much as possible. Okay, having said that, Now we shall continue the teachings from the June Ornament Liberation by GAMPOPA. So it is now almost after 2 weeks that we are today from today we'll be continuing these teachings from the June Ornament Liberation. And before we do so, uh, we shall give rise to bodhicitta and also go refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So I'll recite the prayers in Tibetan. Sangye je dan soge jo nam la jang jo bardo dang ne gyab song je da ge je so ge be so nam ge ro la ben je sangye ro bare sho sangye je dan soge jo nam la jang jo bardo dang ne gyab song je da ge je so ge be so nam ge ro la ben je sangye ro bare sho sangye je dan soge jo nam la jang jo bardo dang ne gyab song je da ge je so ge be so nam ge Tola benje sangye lopare sho semjen damje dewa dan dewe gyo dan dembare gyo je dongan dan dongan ye gyo dan dawa gyo je dongan bebe dewa damba dan me dawa gyo je Niren jatan ye dan dewe danyam chenpo la nebare gyo je semjen damje dewa dan dewe gyo dan dembare gyo je dongan dan dongan ye gyo dan dawa gyo je dongan bebe dewa damba dan me dawa gyo je Niren jada nyi dan zhe dan yang jen bo la ne ba yo je ba den za ye la ma ren bo je da ge ji ro pe me den sho la ga den jen bo go ne je song de ku song do ge ngon do en za do. Okay, so in order to continue from where we left last time, so today we are talking about the uh, karma, cause and effect. And that's chapter 6, karma and its result. So this karma, cause and effect is kind of, a law of karma, cause and effect. Sometimes it's translated as a law of karma, cause and effect. This is kind of fundamental constitution of all the phenomena. So, every phenomena that we experience, we see, all the appearances, all this comes under karma, cause and effect. So the law of karma, cause and effect is our constitution. We walk on law of karma, cause and effect. Whatever we do, whatever we see, it all comes under karma, cause and effect manner. It all comes under interdependence nature. So when you say interdependence nature, there's not any kind of independent nature. Everything is interdependence. Everything comes from karma, cause and effect. So it has cause. Everything we experience has a cause. So just like in the previous chapter, we studied about different types of suffering in different realms, right? So all these sufferings, are they permanent? Do one need to suffer all the time, permanently? The answer is no, 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 because it has causes. That's why now we need to understand what causes us to be born in all these different types of suffering of samsara or different realms. So once you acknowledge the suffering of samsara or suffering in different realms, then second thing what you need to do is you need to understand where this suffering comes from. Does this suffering has a cause? And the answer is yes, it has a cause. It has cause and conditions. So we need to understand what causes us suffer or experience suffering. Then by knowing that, since we do not want to suffer, since we renounce the suffering of samsara, then our next step should be to see which is the cause, what causes us to suffer in suffering of samsara. Otherwise, just knowing suffering of samsara, it doesn't really help us. There's no hope, right? But now we have a hope because these sufferings, as a result, has a cause. And that's why what we are now trying to understand, the cause and effect. How does cause and effect really works? And what are the causes? of these different types of suffering is samsara. And if you know this, you'll release your ignorance. Because ignorance is not knowing. And when you know how the karma cause and effect really works, how many types of suffering are there, and what are the causes for those suffering, and how one can really, dispel or eliminate those causes. So this is wisdom. This is knowledge. So this is how we can release our ignorance, how we can be more smart and more knowledgeable and have more wisdom. So therefore, this is one of the way how we can release our ignorance and how we can really discriminate what are good causes and what are bad causes. What causes us to suffer and what causes us to experience the happiness. So this is the very important chapter. As I mentioned in the earlier teachings, that we Buddhists believe in karma, cause and effect manner. It is upon us. The choice is ours. No one has, created us. No one has made us to suffer. No one has made this, skandhas for us. It is all because of karma, the cause of karma. It has a cause, so it has a result. So it again falls on you whether you want to eliminate those causes for suffering or not. It again falls on you whether you want to accumulate those good causes for good results. So that's why GAMPOPA will enlighten us about karma, cause and effect in this chapter 7. So before we talk about this, we should always recall what are the 6 different topics that GAMPOPA is going to talk in his book called Ornament of Liberation. First, primary cause, that's Buddha nature. We understood now that all the sentient beings, all the beings possesses the Buddha nature. Second, in order to bring that Buddha nature into a fruitful manner, or in a to bring that out or enlighten that out for the benefit of yourself and others, we need to have a working basis. And among the different working bases in different realms, the precious human body in human realm is the best. It has the quality of 8 leisure and 10 endowments and 3 fits. Then for next one is the topic 3 is the contributory cause, and that is our spiritual master. And there are different types of spiritual masters, but for us as a beginner, ordinary spiritual master is the very beneficial, someone that we can really attend to. Then we have these instructions. So after attending spiritual master, what spiritual master will give us? He or she cannot take our sins or our negative afflictions and emotions away. He or she definitely cannot take our suffering away from just pouring water on our crown or just placing their malas or prayer wheels on our crown. That doesn't happen. So what they can give is the instructions, and that's the method. The 4th point is the method, which is the instructions by spiritual master and Dharma itself. The instructions how we can eliminate different types of suffering, the causes of suffering, what are the procedures, how many types of paths are there. All these instructions, beautiful instructions, are the real path that lead us to enlightenment. Then we have that after practicing that path, after practicing that instruction, we will witness the result, obviously, because as I mentioned earlier, everything comes under law of karma, cause and effect. So because of implementing those causes, you will definitely see the result the fifth point or topic. That's the result, which is the Buddhahood itself, in attainment of Buddhahood. Or in other words, we can say the what you call shining out, outbringing the inherent nature, Buddha nature, into action, you know, into attain enlightenment state of mind. And that's the result of Buddhahood itself. Then what happened after in the attainment of Buddhahood? One will just not remain silence. One will not just remain in the peaceful state of mind forever. One will not have an attachment to this kind of uh, happiness or a kind of nirvana. One will then automatically benefit all sentient beings. And that's this topic number 6, which is the activity, the beneficial activity of Buddha. So these were the 6 different main topics of these instructions in during Ornament of Liberation by GAMPOPA. So among these, we are now in the 4th topic, the instructions, the method, how we can attain enlightenment. And among these instructions, within this method, there are 16 different chapters, because again, method or the instruction is the main important part. This is the one with the instruction that we, if applied, will definitely give us the result of enlightenment. So therefore, there's more chapters to study. And as GAMPOPA mentioned when he introduced this topic number 4, the method or the instructions of the spiritual master, he said that we may have obtained precious human lives for many times. We may have attended spiritual masters for many, many times. And obviously, we all have this Buddha nature as a primary cause. But why are we still in samsara? Why are we not enlightened yet? And there are 4 different possibilities that he mentioned. Number 1, because you are too attached to this life's activity, too busy doing things for this lifetime. So therefore you don't have much time to really, study internally the importances of these different type of methods. So we have always engaged, even though we have attained precious human body, attended the spiritual masters, but we did not really follow instructions that well. We again, as I mentioned earlier, we just went back to old track, trying to do something for this lifetime, attainment, positions, so on and so forth. So we are too busy with this, and we didn't have enough time to really study internally. That's one possibility. And second possibility is that we are too attached to the pleasure of samsara, especially pleasure of human being and God realms. Therefore, we just forgot how to really practice the instructions of the spiritual master. We have not applied those instructions. We may have heard, but we forgot. We really did not pay attention. We did not give 100% seriousness to those implementations of instructions. That's why we're still here. Third possibilities, maybe we have again some realizations. We have put effort into the practice of the Dharma, and we have attained some kind of realizations like arhatship. And just because not having negative afflictions, emotions, and having this peaceful state of mind for a long time, so we are attached to that again. We're not attached to pleasure of samsara or this life's activity, but on the other hand, we fall into another act there. We're too attached to nirvana. We're too attached to this meditative concentration, obstructions of meditation concentration for a long time, which is so peaceful. Obviously, we all like peaceful, don't we? But if you're too attached to that angle, then again we fall in one angle, one end. So we need to be in middle. That's why middle way is always very good. So that is why that's one possibility. And the fourth possibility is that maybe we don't know how to really cultivate bodhicitta, how to cultivate our good hearts, how to really generate loving kindness and compassion for others. We want to, but we don't know how to. So therefore, KAMOPA share all these different possibilities, which are known as obstacles to one's attainment of liberation or enlightenment. And he also gives us different types of instructions as antidotes. So if someone is too attached to these life's activities, he said, meditate impermanence. Then you will not be so attached to these life's activities. If you truly know the instructions on meditation on impermanence. If someone is too attached to the suffering, pleasure of samsara, he said, meditate on the reflections of the falls or suffering of samsara, and also to know karma cause and effect. If someone is too attached to nirvana or peaceful state of mind, then he said, meditate on loving kindness and compassion. Then, if you generate loving kindness and compassion for other beings, then you will not be, you wouldn't stay on that state of peaceful mind. You will be, you will be motivated by seeing or suffering of some others, and then you want to really help those beings by generating loving kindness and compassion with different reasons, with good reasons. Okay, so that we'll talk later. And simply, if someone who do not know how to cultivate bodhicitta, then he talks about generations of bodhicitta, how many different types of bodhicittas are there, what are the 6 paramita practices, and what are the 5 different paths that one has to apply or work on in order to reach enlightened state of mind. So here we are now at the second antidote, that is meditation on the reflections of suffering of samsara and how the role of karma cause and effect. How does karma cause and effect really works? Okay, so we're going to continue with this chapters 6, karma and its result. So before we go there, we need to understand what is karma. Karma is a Sanskrit term. What does karma mean? In Tibetan, it's lay. In English, simply means action. Karma, lay, or action. And action means your mental action, that is different thoughts that appears into your mind. Positive thoughts, negative thoughts, faithful, loving kindness and compassion, faithful thoughts, or ill will thoughts, harmful thoughts, wrong beliefs that occur into our mind. That's action, that's karma, the mental karma. Then we have this verbal karma, good or bad. Good verbal karma, maybe recitations of mantras, as just for example, I'm now sharing dharma, maybe good speech karma, action, and instructions, giving instructions, giving some useful instructions, beneficial instructions for many beings. This is considered as a good speech action. Or bad speech action, maybe lying, telling a lie, divisive speech, harsh words, using harsh words, or idle talks. These are all considered as a speech action. And then we have this body action, bodily action. Good bodily action can be doing prostrations, recitations, mantra, using rosary and reciting mantras, helping others, through your body, saving someone's life, giving some food to poor and needy people. These are good bodily action. And bad bodily action or body action, killing, stealing, all these things. So karma is not actually so hard. It simply means action. So if you do good action, definitely you will get good result. If you do bad action, definitely you will experience bad result. As simple as it is. That is why in Buddhist we call it law of karma and karma cause and effect. And this is our great constitution. Everything runs under this constitution of karma cause and effect. So karma actually is not so hard to understand. But there are many details of karma which are very hard to understand sometimes. If you really want to know all the details of karma, cause and effect manner, then you need to be Buddha yourself in order to read all the details of karma, cause and effect manner. But roughly, we can understand. And by understanding this karma, cause and effect, how does karma, cause and effect works, then we need to, encourage ourselves to working towards the good karma and eliminating or avoiding bad karmas, abstaining from bad karmas. Either that can be mental karma, mental bad karma, eliminate mental bad karma, eliminate or avoid speech bad karma, avoid bodily bad karma. And on the other hand, engaging in the good mental karma, good speech karma, good body karma. So this is how we should transform ourselves from being involved or engaging in about different types of suffering in different realms. And if someone wonder what causes these sufferings that were just explained in chapter 5, then the answer is one should know that they come from the karma of afflicted action. So especially because we are talking about suffering, then obviously all this suffering as a result, they did come from afflicted action or afflicted cause. Here afflicted should also be understood as defiling action. And defiling action really means without knowing the nature. Like we create karma, but not knowing its nature as impermanence, selflessness, suffering, or emptiness. So we create karma without knowing this. And any creations of karma without knowing the true nature are considered as defiling actions or defiling karma or defiled karma. And as he says, one should understand that all those suffering that were mentioned in previous chapter they come from the karma of afflicted actions, karma of defiled action. Okay. Thus, the Sutra of the 100 Karma says, from many device causes of karma, we have created the diversity of these migrators. So because of different karma, we experience different result. As he says here, all this diversity of migrators or 6 realms were the creation of device causes of karma. So one thing is very, very clear here. Nothing is permanent. Everything comes from cause and effect. Everything comes from karma. Everything has a cause. And this is very, very important. All those suffering that were mentioned in different realms are not independent or without cause. They all have cause. Knowing their cause and effect, this will release our ignorance. And every time, since it's nature of change, every second, if you see momentary changes, momentary impermanence nature, you have a good thought, happiness. When a bad thought occurs, anxiety, no unpleasant sensation. You can feel this. If you have a very good tasty food, like for example having ice cream, and the taste that you experience with your tongue, pleasure. And something that is bitter, not good taste of, when you place that onto your tongue, you can, you can momentarily, you can experience the unpleasure or unpleasantness texture. So these are all, works as a momentary labor, moment to moment, first moment to second moment. First moment positive thoughts brings happiness in the second moment. First moment of the negative thoughts brings the uh, unpleasure results in the second moment. So it will be very specific, very subtle way of change. So therefore, by understanding this, then you should say, oh, okay, I don't want to suffer again. I have understood different type of suffering in different realms. I don't want to suffer there. I don't want to experience those sufferings. Therefore, I don't want to involve in the cause that really, gives results, measurations of results. I don't want to experience those measurations of results from that cause. Then you will be, then you can change your directions. Then you can, limit yourself from involving in the non-virtuous act and abstaining from non-virtuous act or avoiding non-virtuous act. This is how you can change your track slowly, slowly, and then you can make yourself more pure. You can purify yourself slowly. This is how it works. It doesn't work as a moment. At moment, it doesn't work like that way. You need to change yourself with understandings of these instructions, and then try to abstain from involving in the non-virtuous act. So when you avoid, or when you are not involved in non-virtuous act, you don't have to experience the results of that. Definitely not. So this is how you can change our track. Okay, that makes us uh, uh, think that we can liberate ourselves from suffering of samsara. We have the tools in our hand. We are the one who can liberate ourselves from the suffering of samsara. And this gives us, kind of, it encourages us actually. It's optimistic, durable. Then you don't have to, get depressed by knowing the different sufferings of samsara, because you now know you can get rid of this. And you have to come forward in order to eliminate, or in order to eliminate the cause. Otherwise, just sitting there and wishing for good result, not going to happen, not at all. Okay, so therefore it is very important to know how the karma cause really works. So in general, the 10 virtues are understood as the general kind of cause of the human and God realm, or we can also call these 10 virtues are the general causes for enlightenment and liberation. And on the other side, on this contradiction, the 10 non-virtues, which are also known as general cause for samsara, especially the suffering of lower realms. So they are, in order to understand karma, we need to understand different types of karma. And from the White Lotus of the Great Compassion Sutra, there's a quote: "This world is produced by karma. This world manifests by means of karma. All sentient beings are produced by karma. They appear through the cause karma. They are fully classified by karma." So everything comes under karma, comes under this great law of karma cause and effect, the very great constitution of the phenomena. And why is said that they are everything that we appear that appears as us, all these different worlds are fully classified by karma. That means that all their distinct characteristics are attributable to karma. That's why it is known as can be fully classified by karmas. Also, the treasury of the Abhidharma says the various worlds are created by karma. Similar meaning with different quote. Then next, what is karma then? Obviously, karma is action, but what kind of action? Okay, here it says, what is karma? The karma of the mind and the karma of thoughts. So here, see, this is little confusion here sometimes. Karma of mind and karma of thought. So mind and thought, uh, there's little bit difference of mind and thought. Mind as the primary mind, who is thinking, the mental, and thoughts you should understand as the mind's thoughts. Whatever you think, then you express through verbal or physical. Those should be understand as the karma of thought. Okay. In other words, karma of mind is mental karma, mental action that I explained earlier, and karma of thought you should understand as this speech karma and body karma. Okay. It doesn't matter whether there's virtues or non-virtues, meritorious or non-meritorious, but it's still karma. It's still action. Karma doesn't uh, discriminate us. Okay, if you plan good seed, good result. If you plan bad seed, bad result. It's clear as it's clear as it is. You cannot blame karma. Okay. The collections of Abhidharma says, what is karma? It is the karma of mind and the karma of thought. Similar meaning with different quotes. And also the treasures of Abhidharma says karma is created by the mind and by its force. Karma is created by mind, that is mental karma, and its force means with that thought, that with that mental thought, you implement or you express that thought into physical form. Like for example, if you have this ill will thought, harmful thought in your mind, then you display this thought through harsh words, speech using harsh words or insulting other people's, or even if you that goes more extents, then you try to steal someone's belonging or take life of others. So this is the force, mental force, karma of mental force or mind's force. Also, the fundamental treatise of the Middle Way says, the Supreme Rishi said, all karma from the mind and its thoughts. All the karma from mind and its thoughts. That means that mental karma and body and speech karma. All virtues and non-virtues that produce samsaric effects are defiling action actually. Even it is virtue, but if you are not aware of or not aware of the true nature of phenomena, then it is still considered as defiled virtues. Even though it is virtuous, it is still defiled. Okay, so what are these two? The two karma of mind and karma of thought. What are these two karmas? So we need to understand karma. Karma of mind is the karma of consciousness. And second one, that which is created by the mind is the mind's thought. So this should be understood as the karma of body and speech. The treasury of Abhidharma says, mind is the karma of consciousness. By its force, the karma of body and speech manifest. So to explain these different kinds of karma and result created by their force, the summary. So in order to present this karma, so GAMPOPA here has 6 different points that he want to comprise these teachings of chapter 6, which is the karma and its result. So there are 6 different types of, or 6 different points that you want to uh, uh, comprise this whole teaching of chapter 6. The first is classification. Again, since the way of teaching is like more philosophical, more intellectual, so he really wants us to understand what are the different types of karma. That's why the first is the classifications of karma, and the next level is after understanding different types of classifications of karma. Then second thing what we need to understand is what are their characteristics. What are the difference between the two or three or how many classifications are there. So therefore, primary characteristics, and then the third point is ascription. Ascription, who has the power of karma. Uh, so we have more details later on, but different. We create different karma, so different karma will have different results. So So ascriptions of karma, we should understand that someone else create karma and you experience the results. That's not going to happen, not at all. So therefore, in fact, if you want to liberate yourself from the suffering of samsara, you should be doing something good. You should be involving in virtuous actions, karma, of mental, of body, speech, and mind. You should be avoiding non-virtuous act, non-virtuous karma or body, speech, and mind. You cannot ask someone else on your behalf to do that karma. Cannot. So therefore, sometimes we have this traditional of asking people to do something good for you by offering some money and all. This is temporary, but you cannot really, they cannot really bring you to the. Uh, they cannot really free you from the suffering of samsara. They can at least pray for you. They can at least chant something, mantras for you, or recite prayers for you. But when you read it, when it comes really on the path, it should be you who is doing this. It should be you who is following the instructions. It should be you who is practicing diligently all these instructions. Okay, so therefore, ascription. And then next point you want to mention is strict results. The strict result here means that if you create good karma, definitely you will experience good result. It cannot be like you create good karma and you experience bad results. No. So that's why it's a very strict result. Good karma, good result. Bad karma, bad result for sure. But sometimes what happens, people think that, oh, I've been doing so generous, but I still, feel suffering. I still have so many, tensions in my house, my family. I still have so many obstacles in my practice, in my worldly activities. But you cannot definitely say there's no 100% that is because of your creations of good karma and you're experiencing these bad results. It cannot be. It may be the results of your earlier previous karma. Your earlier previous karma, not necessarily you have to go back to your previous life. Sorry, the past life, previous life. It can be some creations of karma in your adulthood, in your youth, or when you are a child. This can happen. Obviously, there are lots of possibilities. And also, it can go back to your previous karma as well. So don't misunderstand this, because many of our friends also, they misunderstand this and they then insult teachings, practice, and they become discouraged in their actions with the materials actions. So it's not necessary at all. When you create good karma now, even though you experience bad results, it's not from this good karma. The karma that you are now creating will definitely have a good results waiting for you, right there, no doubt. So strict result. So even though you're experiencing some difficulties now, that can be from our previous life or earlier part of our life, within this life, earlier part of our life. But what you are now doing will not lose at all. What you are now doing, whether you're being generous, whether you're being practicing the Dharma, whether you're practicing compassion, whether you're practicing patience, definitely you will have good results waiting for you. Okay, don't expect that everything will come just now. Every good result will just come right now. That can't happen. If that happens, then we don't have to work so much. But it doesn't happen. It takes time. Karma and effects manner. Even though for the plantations of flower, it takes some times. Obviously, it will take time. It's not magical. It's not magical at all. It's not painkiller. Oh, that's a good example. It's not painkiller. It's a gradual process. It's a process. And when GAMPOPA says here, strict result, definitely you will have good results waiting for you if you are implementing good karma or good cause now. So don't get discouraged. Be optimistic. Okay. And then next topic you want to say is increase from small, meaning even though if you involve small karma, you have greater result. So this again can be in both. Small virtuous act will have greater result of happiness. Small non-virtuous act will also have greater results as suffering. So there are also this kind of karma as well. So GAMPOPA will later explain us what different types of this kind of karma. And the last point he want to mention here is inevitability of karma. So even though if you don't experience the results of the karma for one generation, two generation, or for few lifetimes, but that doesn't mean that disappeared. That is not there. You are not experiencing that results now. Maybe because you have implemented many different kind of good things. That's why small negative experience of small negative karma as a result are not visible for now. But that doesn't mean that is disappear forever. Likewise with the good karma as well, even though if you have not experienced the results of that good karma, that doesn't mean that you will not experience that result at all. That's why it is called inevitability of karma. Definitely, they will not lose. Okay, karma will not lose. So these six comprise the karma and its result. Okay, from this, the first point is the classification. So there are three types of karma and result. Number A, non-meritorious karma and result, which is, in other words, non-virtuous karma and result. Number two, B, meritorious karma and result, virtuous karma and result. Number C, the karma and results of unshakable meditative concentration. So these three, GAMPOPA said there are three different types of karma, the classification of different types of karma. So the first one is non-virtuous karma and result. That is the implementations of 10 non-virtuous act, 3 from body, 4 from speech, and another 3 from mind. So this we are very familiar with this, right? 10 non-virtuous. And if you implement 10 non-virtuous, obviously you will experience the results of this 10 non-virtuous. So GAMPOPA will later on tell us all the details of different types of results of that different types of karma. And second is meritorious karma and result, which means, in other words, a virtuous action and that results of that. So obviously, if you implement virtuous act of, again here, 10 virtues, 3 from body, 4 from speech, another 3 from mind, 10 virtuous act. So if you implement or engage in this 10 virtuous act, you will experience the results respectively. And finally, the third type of karma is karma and result of the unshakable meditative concentration. And here, what does this unshakable meditative concentration? It means that the karma, creations of karma of meditative obsession. That when you meditate, the antidote for eliminating our negative afflictions and emotions. When you meditate, and then as a result of that, it will certainly uh, uh, give rise to result of that different respective meditative state of mind. So this is the karma for the God realm and Rupa Dhatu and Arupa Dhatu. Remember three different worlds. We are in Kama Dhatu, desire realm, and then there's another two world that are known as Rupa Dhatu, which means form God realm, and Arubadadu, formless God realm. So, in order to experience the results of this form God realm and formless God realm, we need to practice the karma, meditative concentration. And that is known as unshakable meditative concentration, uh, which is karma and which will be giving results to the actualizing this different state of mind in both the Rupatatu and Arupatatu. Okay, unshakable means that definite. It will definitely will able to experience those different types of meditative concentrations. So there are three different types of karma which I mentioned here. The first two can implement, you know, uh, usually we know that in desire where people are implementing one way or another. Some are engaging in non-virtuous act, some are engaging in virtuous act of body, speech, and mind. And if you go furthermore, a deeper understanding and deeper practice of the Dharma, then meditative concentration will take place. And even with this body in the desire realm, Kamadhatu, you can still practice the karma that can resolve the different state of mind of Rupa Dhatu and Arupa Dhatu. So, these are different types of karma. So this the first topic of classifications of different karma, and second one is the primary characteristic of each classification. So what is non-materials karma and results? What are materials karma and result? What are karma and results of the unshakable meditative concentrations? So he will teach us in detail uh, about these different types of karma. But usually, when we talk about karma, uh, it relates us in the second paramita of discipline. So when we know that this 10 non-virtuous act will resolve us in the suffering of samsara, then in order to abstain from or avoiding, in order to avoid this non-virtuous act, we need to practice the 10 virtues karma, right? And here it says the materials karma and result. So when you implement this 10 virtuous karma, and this is about something like keeping ourselves, disciplining ourselves from involving in non-virtuous act, for stopping from being involved in the non-virtuous act. So therefore, we sometimes take vows from our spiritual master, sojong vows, different types of vow, one-day vow, or shavakas, upasaka and upasika vows for lay practitioners, and monastic vows for those who are ordained. So there are different types of vows. So why we keep taking these vows, why we are making commitment to ourselves, is that, oh, if I involve or if I engage in non-virtuous act, then I will experience suffering of samsara that were mentioned in previous chapter. So I don't want to experience those sufferings. So therefore, I don't want to involve in the cause of those sufferings. So when you don't want to involve in the cause of those sufferings, those are non-virtuous, right? Non-virtuous act. 3 from body, 4 from speech, and another 3 from mind. So you don't want to involve in implementation of this non-virtuous act. Then what to do? On the other hand, you want to, involve in the virtuous act, meritorious karma and result, meritorious act. So you want to involve yourself into the virtuous act, and that is to say, like for example, the body virtuous act of body can be, not stealing, not taking someone's life, for example. So just by saying I don't want to take anyone's life, that's still very good. Just saying I don't want to steal, that's not good. I don't want to steal someone's belonging because that is not good. That is non-virtuous act. Understanding that it is good, but is this enough? It is not. Why? Because of our habitual tendency, we directly or indirectly will involve in that act again and again. So in order to cut that tie, what we need to do is we need to make commitment to ourselves, and that is how we take vows from our teachers, saying, or from our spiritual guru, from today until I get enlightenment, I will not take someone's life. From today until I get enlightenment, I will not steal someone's belongings. So this is how the process of discipline really starts off. Therefore, you can cut the tie of involving in non-virtuous acts, since because you have taken commitment, through your spiritual master, and you have witnessed someone can is as a witness of that commitment. So this gives us some kind of encouragement. So we will talk more about this, how these different types of karma and result works tomorrow. So we'll keep here for today. And thank you for very much for listening, all those who are uh, here live. And see you tomorrow again. So let's make dedications with this listening the teaching and sharing the teaching of the Dharma. May all sentient beings be free from suffering of samsara and cause of samsara. Sonam de tamje sikbanye tamne ngebe danam pamje ne gega nache bala tubai sibe zole ndo
Tashitale, now you have received a teaching from KHENPO CHONYI. Now once we receive the teaching, then we have to practice. First, we take a refuge and generating bodhicitta. Therefore, visualize that in front of you at the sky, that your Guru and the Buddha Dharma Sanghas, in front of them they will take refuge and generating bodhicitta. Sanje Jedai Sogi Shonamala Janjo Parato Dani Jazo Inji Dage Jinso Jibe Yesena Drolai Benje Sanje To Bararai Ju Sanje Yenje Dan Zogi Jo Nam La Jan Jo Yen Barado Dani Jazo Da Ge Jin So Yen Je Be Se Nam Ge Dro Lai Ben Je San Je Do Bara Rai Jo San Je Je Dan Yen So Ge Cho Nama La Chan Cho Bara Do Da Ni Ja So Ji Da Ge Jin So Ji Bi Se Na Ge Dro Lai Ben Je San Ji Do Bara Rai E Shu Sen Je Tam Jin De Wa Dan De Vi Ju Dan De Bra Rai Ju Ji Du Ngai Dan Du Ngai Ge Ju Dan Da Wa Ju Ji Du Ngal Me Be De Wa Dan Ba Dan Mie De La Wa Rai Ju Ji Nie Ren Cha Dan Ye Dan Do We Dan Yam Ai Chen Bo La Ne Bra Rai Ju Rai Ji Repeat. Sem Je Tam Je De Wa Dan De Vi Jo Dan De Ba Ju Rai Ji Do Nga Dan Do Nga Ge Ju Dan Da Wa Rai Ju Rai Ji Do Ngal Me Ben De Wa Dan Ba Dan Mi Da La Wa Rai Ju Rai Ji Nie Rin Cha Dan Nie Dan Da La We Dan Nyam Ai Chen Bo La Ne Bra Rai Ju Rai Ji Sem Je Dan Jin De Wa Dan De Vi Ju Dan De Bra Rai Ju Rai Ji Do Nga Dan Do Nga Ge Ju Dan De Wa Ju Rai Ji Do Nga Mi Bi De Wa Dan Ba Dan Mi De La Wa Rai Ju Rai Ji Nie Rin Cha Dan Nie Dan Da La We Dan Nyam A Chen Po La Ne Bra Rai Ju Rai Ji. Okay, now meditate on for immeasurable. Then this for immeasurable meditation we apply with uh, our breathing. That time is called tong len. Tong means a give, len means take. Like give means we give our happiness and the cause of happiness. that give our love and compassion and all the virtues, merits we give to the mother sentient beings. Now we take. Take means we taking their pain and sufferings, the cause of the sufferings. The cause of the suffering are ignorance, attachments, angers. Those are the cause of all the sufferings. To obtain enlightenment, to obtain Buddhahood, we must practice loving kindness and compassion with the wisdoms. Without loving kindness and compassion, how much effort we put, how to practice, we won't obtain enlightenment. Therefore, we need to cultivate, we need to develop our bodhicitta, or loving kindness and compassion. This without the sentient beings, we cannot cultivate the loving kindness and compassion. We cannot develop loving kindness and compassion without our sentient beings. Therefore, sentient being is very kind to us, to help us to cultivate, develop our loving kindness and compassion. Therefore, Buddhas and all the sentient beings are equally kind to us. Without the Buddha, also we cannot obtain enlightenment. Without the sentient beings, also we cannot obtain enlightenment. Therefore, both of them equally kind to us. Therefore, we must love all the other sentient beings. Therefore, to develop our loving kindness compassion, we must meditate on this 4 immeasurable or Tongling meditations. Okay, now you visualize that all the mother sentient being is in front of you. All the sentient beings are same as ourselves. What we want is we want happiness. What we don't want is sufferings. Every sentient beings are the same, but they are through their developments, through their obscuration, they don't know. They say they are still in suffering in samsara. Therefore, we take all that they are suffering and give all our happiness and the cause of happiness. Okay, now you visualize they are all in front of you. They are all suffering. When you breathe in, then you visualize that their pain, fear, sufferings come out from their body, form of black colored smoke, and cause of the suffering, their ignorance, their attachments, their angers all come out, form of black smoke. So we breathe in, that they are free from the suffering and the cause of sufferings. they breathe in, then go into your body inside, then you visualize that in your heart there is small fire. This fire will burn off all the black smoke and burn off, then just disappear. Then again we breathe out, then you visualize that your merits, your virtues, your happiness, and your love, compassion, all come out form of white color smoke. Then they all dissolve into the mother sentient being's body. They imagine they are receive the happiness and the cause of happiness. They imagine they are stay forever in happiness and with the cause of happiness, love and compassion. Okay, now we recite the mantras. First, we recite Om Mani Padme Hum Avalokiteshvara's mantra. When we chant the mantra, mind must focus on visualizations. If without any visualization, then chanting mantra is, of course, we get the blessings, but we won't help us to develop our positive mind. Therefore, when we chant the mantra, we must visualize. See, our mind is always non-stop thoughts, one after another, one after another. We non-stop thoughts. Then generally, most of our thoughts is either past, either future, not much at the present. If we think of a past and make feel sadness, hatred, if we think of a future, then it is we think of hope. The ones that we have hope, then our mind is not peaceful. Therefore, we must train our mind to be at the present, stay and present. When our mind in the present, then it will give us very pleasant mind, very peaceful. Then we do this practice more on meditation, reciting mantra and visualization. Then that habitual going to our mind that staying at the present. Then we always be our mind peaceful. Okay, now we recite mantra. That time now you are visualize that yourself and all the matter sentient beings and the outer these phenomena instantly transform. Because right now we are whatever we are seeing, we are thinking, everything is impure mind. We call it impure thoughts. Now transform into the pure environments, pure body, pure speech, pure mind. Therefore, instantly you transform after your house and place is pure land of the Avalokiteshvara. Then yourself, this body is transformed into the pure body of Avalokiteshvara. That picture shows that forearm Avalokiteshvara. This forearm Avalokiteshvara is a Sambhogakaya form of the Buddha. Then your mind, your speech is just concentrate speaking only the mantra, no other words. Then your mind is transformed. Whatever thoughts is, imagine that is the wisdom of the generation. With this concentration, this visualization, with concentration, and same time, faith and devotion to the Avalokiteshvara. The Avalokiteshvara is a form of all the Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's compassion, love and compassion. Then your speech is the Om Mani Padme Hum. This mantra is the essence of all the Dharma. That your mind is devotion, faith, and compassion, love and compassion. With this visualization, focus on this visualization, then recite the mantra. 베메 홍 어마니 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 베메 홍 Recite this mantra 108 times. Omane beme 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 omane omane beme hong omane beme 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 we recite the long life Dharani. Therefore, you visualize that Buddha Amitayu above your head, and Buddha Amitayu also is a Sambhogakaya form. That is like Buddha Amitabha, Sambhogakaya form of Buddha Amitayu. Amitayu is a Sambhogakaya form of Buddha Amitabha. Now, visualize that from your heart, that radiate light, this light go up and dissolve into the Amitayu's heart. Then this light requests that Amitayu to give us the blessings, especially for longevities. Then radiate light from the Buddha Amitayu's body. This light go to 10 directions. Then this light we collect all the blessings from the 10 direction Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and also collect all the energy of the universe, and also just collect the essence of the 4 elements. This light we collect and all go into his this long light vase. You see in the picture that his 2 hands holding the long light vase. Then all the energy go into the long light vase. Then, and the transform of the energy is a form of nectar. Now, nectar overflow from the long light vase, go into your crown, into the body. Then your body fill up. They purify all the aspirations and untaming death or the sickness purify. They imagine that you receive the energy of the universe and blessings of Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Then essence of the elements. They imagine that your body is full of nectar and radiate light from your body. They are very energetic, full of the positive energy. With this visualization, you recite the mantra at this long dharani 7 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Aparimita Ayujana Subhine Citate Rajaya Tathagataya Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Te Yata Om Pune Pune Mahabune Aparimita Pune Aparimita Pune Jnana Sambharo Bhajite Om Sarva Samkara 소비네 제다 대조라자야 다다가다야 아라하테 삼야 삼보다야 대야타 엄보네 보네 마하보네 아파레미타 보네 아파레미타 보네 자나 삼바로 바지테 사라와 삼가라 파리슈데 다르마 대가가나 사몽가데 소바와 비슈데 마하나야 파리와리소하 나모 바가와테 아파리미타 아유자나 수비네 제타 대조라자야 다다가다야 아라하테 삼야 삼보다야 대야다 엄보네 보네 마하보네 아파리미타 보네 아파리미타 보네 자나 삼바로 바지테 사라와 삼가라 파레슈데 다르마테 가가나 사몽가데 소바와 비슈데 마하나야 파레와레소하 나모 바가와데 아파리미타 아유갸나 소비네 제타 대조라자야 다다가다야 아라하테 삼야 삼보다야 대야다 엄보네 보네 마하보네 아바레미타 보네 아바레미타 보네 야나 삼바로 바지테 사라와 삼가라 파레슈데 다르마테 가가나 사몽가테 소바와 비슈데 마하나예 파레와레소하 나모 바가와테 아파레미타 아유자나 소비네 제타 대조라자야 다다가다야 아라하테 삼야 삼보다야 대야다 엄보네 보네 마하보네 아파레미타 보네 아파레미타 보네 야나 삼바로 바지테 사라와 상가라 파레슈데 다르마테 가가나 사몽가데 소바와 비슈데 마하나야 파레와레 소하 나모 바가와테 아파레미타 아유로자나 소비네 제타 대조라자야 가다가다야 Shuddhi Dharma Te Gangana Samungate Sobhavam Vishuddhi Mahanaya Pari Vari Soha Om Namo Bhagavate Aparimita Ayojana Subhinitita Tenja Rajaya Tathagata Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Pune Pune Mahapune Aparimita Pune Aparimita Pune Jana Sambharo Bhajit Om Sarava Sankara Parishuddhi Dharmate Gangana Samungate Sobhava Vishuddhi Mahanaya Parivare Soha Om Namo Bhagavate Aparimita Ayojana Subhine Cita Tejora Jaya Tathagata Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Pune Pune Mahapune Aparimita Pune Aparimita Pune Jana Sambharo Bhajit Om Sarava Sankara Parishuddhi Dharmate Gagana Samungate Sobhava Vishuddhi Mahanaya Parivare Soha. Now we recite Medicine Buddha's a long mantra and a short mantra. We recite 7 times each. Therefore, you visualize that from your heart, really light, this light, go to east direction at Medicine Buddha's pure land. Then this light dissolve into the Medicine Buddha's heart that requires Medicine Buddha to give us the purification and the blessings. That with Medicine Buddhas, he is remember that he met the 12 great aspiration. He remember that, then he with his love and compassion. The nectar flow from his begging bowl. This nectar come and go into your crown, in your body, and also nectar flow to all the mother sentient beings' crown, going to their body. Then purify all their sickness and the cause of the sickness. The nectar, they fill up your body. They receive Medicine Buddha's body, speech, mind, blessings. With this visualization, your mind is focused this visualization, and with faith to the Medicine Buddha, and recite the mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Bekhanse Guru Vedraya Prabharajaya Tathagata Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Bekhanse Bekhanse Maha Bekhanse Samya Sambuddhaya Te Yata Beka Je Beka Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Namo Bhagavate Beka Je Guru Bendraya Prabharajaya Tathagata Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Raja Samunga Te Soha Te Yata Beka Je Maha Beka Je Raja Samunga Te Soha. Now we recite the Padmashavari deity's mantra. That we will visualize that Padmashavari is in front of you in the sky. The Padmashavari is one of the emanation of the 21 Tara. Then his mantra is powerful, that purifying the negative energy and aspiration. Therefore, you visualize that nectar flow from the Padmashavari's body. This nectar will crown into your body, to purify all your sickness and all the negative energies and aspirations. Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sararvan Choda Prashamani Soha Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sararvan Choda Prashamani Soha Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sarava Chora Prashamani Sowa Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sarava Chora Prashamani Sowa Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sararva Chora Prashamani Sowa Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sarva Chora Prashamani Soha Om Pishati Parana Shavari Sarva Chora Prashamani Soha. After that is Dharana of Vijaya. That's in Tibetan call it Namjum. If you visualize a Namjom is in front, deity is in front of you, the nectar flow from his body to go in the crown and put into your body and purify all the obscuration, then especially the negative energies. And the cause of the sickness or purify. Nama Janda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Dista Dista Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Janda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Dista Banda Banda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Jenda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Tikta Tita Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Jenda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Tista Tita Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Jenda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Tikta Tista Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Jenda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Tikta Tikta Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Humbe Nama Jenda Benza Kroda Holo Holo Tikta Tikta Benda Benda Hana Hana Amrite Hoy. Now we recite the Trometic deity's mantra. The visualized Trometic is in front of you in the sky. Send nectar flow from his body. Then this nectar will purify the obscuration and all the negative energy and the cause of the negative energy or purify. Om Puro Kum Maha Pramanaye Puti Buki Bimale Utuma Kroda Humbe Om Puro Kum Maha Pramanaye Puti Buki Bimale Utuma Kroda Humbe Om Puro Kum Maha Brahmanaye Puro Sri Burgi Bimale Otoma Kroda Humbe Om Puro Kum Maha Brahmanaye Puro Sri Burgi Bimale Otoma Kroda Humbe Om Puro Kum Maha Brahmanaye Purti Burgi Bimale Otuma Kroda again we recite the medicine Buddhas and all the deities of the medicine Buddha. Therefore, you visualize that in front of you in the sky, that 8 medicine Buddhas, that surrounded by 16 Bodhisattvas, then surrounded by other countless of medicine deities. Then with devotion, faith to them and request, give us the blessings, purify all our sickness and the cause of the sickness. 地心是把面来起，见当将这身百千百救度，给民众多结真来啦，天人多为内人马来西。Deya tai om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samanga te soha Deya tai om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samanga te soha Deya tai om bekanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samanga te soha. Now you recite the mantra 108 times. Deya tom bekanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samanga. Deya tom bekanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samanga te soha deya tom bekanze Raja Somangate So Simche Neba Jineba Nyudo Nele Tajui Tui Nene Maleba Tato Juai Me Pararai Shu. After that, the prayer that saved the subject from illness. And when we do this aspiration prayers, you must think of the meaning of the aspirations. We recite this 3 times. Sen je ye min de ve ne na ge ji de ga so jo wa ra ma ju ru ji ji ta ra she me je be se ja ji ke je la le se men de ji be so cho ne ge do nga la ji ni ba ji de kan so jo wa ra ma ju ji che da ji ji kai na ji ba tra ne ge mi za ma de be da ji be ni ji ba da da be re so ge li jie ge la ne pa ma ju ru ji ne be ge re don chan je choi dang lo bro ye do sum ja do choi dang shi ja za shi ne lai so ba ye li jie ge lai se wa ra ma ju ru ji li se men de wa ma le to ji be jun xie to be du nga la ji ni ba ma le xie xie dan to bo de ba dang se re ne men de ji de bra ra ra jo la mai con cho song ge to ji dang Kando che joy so me ne to da len de lo wa me pe de do ki ngo wa mo la ma ta si to para shu. Again, repeat page 4. Le da lo bro ge le jong wa yi den da ne da jong bo se wa so sen je ye min de ve ne na ma ge ji de kan so jong wa ra ma ju ru ji jie dai xie me tie pe se jai ji ge jie jie lai li shen man zai ji bei so chuan ne ge do nga la ji ni ba ji ge kan so jong wa ra ma ju ru ji qi da xian jie kai nan zhi bai da ni ge min zang de bi da ji bi ni jie bai da da bi rin so ge li jie gen lai ne bai ma ju ru ji ne bi ge re don tai ji zhou dang lo bro yan doi song jai zhou dang xi jia zai xi ne lai so ba yi li jie gen lai ce wa ma ju ru ji li sim de wa ma li to ji bei zhong xie to pe do nga la ji ni ba ma le xie xie dan to bai de bai dang ce ren ne min de ji de ba ra jo la mai con cho sum ge to je dang kan zhe qi zhong song mian ni du dang len de lo wa me be de do ji ngo wa ma la da zi zhou ba ra shu. Repeat page 4. Le da lo bro ge le zhong wa yi den da ne da zhong bo se wa so sen jie ye me de ve ne na ma ge ji de kan so Now we do aspiration that all the Bardo sentient beings, those are like every day, many people dying and many animals are killed and dying. Then those are wandering in the Bardo stage. Then also we are eating meat, then those animals, we owe them, then we make aspiration, those we have connected, we are eating meat. Those are all sentient beings. Those are in the intermediate stage or Bardo stage. They give up love and compassion to them. They make aspiration, they are all quickly rebirth in Pure Land, that Amitabha's Pure Land. ke wasra pa do me pa ye dewa jin ji javi shin kan tre me ye den che be jo ma da ke wa shin ge parama che pa ro Dero kene amante sheton shoy dege dage melama tapate chocho sanje janse me thamje ge me dobra jinge la so teya ta ye pendra teya awai boda na ye so. Now we do dedication, that dedicate from beginning list until now, whatever I have accumulated merits, virtues, and especially to these generating bodhicittas and reciting mantras, whatever I have accumulated merits, virtues, by this all share with all the sentient beings. By this merits, all sentient beings free from the suffering and the cause of the suffering, then obtain enlightenment, obtain the ultimate happiness. Oi cho de ge wai si ji gong CHONYI zo la ji rang da ge de sama ge sa ba kun ju som la ji ba bo jala we ten ba pe ju ji ge wai sen ji ai ge la mo 조개 산지 도저로지 기사 담지 다게 줄라의 민주로 제진이 단에 서서대 세례님의 냠도 대 세대 사주는 줄지 남시 세배 주로마 다제와의 진도 지주로지 제네 뱀에 가지에 르든데 라산지주 장초와 탐내 지세 도주베 도와데 바라라이쇼 선한데 탄진세 바니 탄네니 베다나 바인제니 개가나지 바라바조바이 시베조레 조와조와라라라이쇼 Thank you.